What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 2 of the Eyes Wide Open podcast. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully good. Enjoying another week of social distancing in California. It's going okay. If you guys would like to keep up and stay tuned and involved in everything that's going on with this podcast, make sure that you follow us on Instagram at Eyes Wide Open Pod. And that's also my Facebook page too, at Eyes Wide Open Pod. And if you would like to follow my personal page, it is at Von Kiah, VONKIAH. And my name is Kiah. Welcome back. Today's topic is really heavy for me. It is us going into a little more detail about my miscarriages. In the last 9 months, I have had 2 miscarriages. Both of them were the same type after further review. They're both a blighted ovum, and it just means like there was a sac, but there's no like baby in it, essentially. So it's just a really tough time. You think you're pregnant and your body goes through all the symptoms of being pregnant, but you are actually not developing your actual baby, just the little bulb inside. So sorry guys. I really want to talk to you guys today about how I am currently healing from that and how I'm currently every day, one day at a time, just trying to be okay after that, because it definitely wasn't easy going through it once, and was not easy going through it a second time either. My first time that I passed, I had the miscarriage, I miscarried at home, and that was very, very traumatizing experience. There's just a lot that goes into it. A lot of women, I'm sure if you have had to do this at home, you know what I mean. I'm sure it doesn't compare to giving birth, but this definitely was not easy by any means. It's very like emotionally traumatizing to like watch everything pass through you at your home. So the second time that I found out I miscarried, I opted to go through and have it surgically removed, everything surgically removed, which is like another different internal feeling than you would think that, we may get, but the procedure is faster. You're able to recover a lot quicker. In comparison to the first situation, the recovery time is a lot longer. Was for me anyway. I can remember being dizzy for, a couple of days after, being difficult to walk. But I made it back to work after the first time within a couple of days. Some people at my job knew just for safety reasons that I was pregnant at the time. And so grateful that I had a lot of supportive energy of people who just were like, hey, if you need to leave a little early or if you need to sit down or whatever you need to do, take your time. Everybody was very supportive in the work environment that I was in, so I always appreciated that. That made it a lot easier to focus on myself as a person. Sorry, guys. But it's not easy, and it's okay that it's not easy. I know a lot of the times people are like, how are you smiling? How are you okay? And like, I'm still human, everybody. I still have my days that I am at work and I am just have been a little airheaded before, just because I was, midway through doing a task, trying to persevere. and not let my emotions get the better of me in those moments. And it is really hard. It's very hard. And trying to be strong if you're in a leadership position or a position where people are looking up to you, it's okay to be vulnerable. I definitely learned that in this experience. There were moments I just needed to go to the back and cry, so I would. I can remember just sitting in the office for a minute and just letting it out. And not being ashamed that I felt that sadness or I felt that pain, because I did feel like I lost something. And it really hurt on a deep level. And you just, as a person, you try to make sense of it and understand. And, you do, but you don't. There's the scientific answers and the explanations that you're given, and you respect that and you understand that, but at the end of the day, you're still just like, man, that really sucked. That really sucked. And it felt that way both times. Most definitely, it felt that way both times. But I want to get into now more of what I'm doing and have been doing over the last 9 months to heal and to be okay as an individual, because it has been like a roller coaster of, pregnancy, and then I wasn't, and then I was again, and then I wasn't. So it's just been very heavy, up and down. But I've found a way to kind of stabilize some of that instability that you go through emotionally when you're dealing with that. And I want to share some of that with you guys on here. And I really hope that, it touches somebody and helps somebody. So here we go. I want to start with all the negative thoughts that I had. I just want to put them out there, or the negative things, perceived negatives. Let me say that. I used to think bad. I would be like, why me? This really sucks. Is this seriously supposed to be 2 times? Or, I would just be so mad. And I'd have to take a really deep breath and just, release that and rationalize that and say everything is in divine timing. If that didn't happen for you right now, that's okay. That is not for you right now. And you will be okay. You are okay. I had to look at myself in the mirror and tell myself several times, you are okay. You will be okay. You are fine. Per the doctors, they say that I am perfectly healthy. So that's always the catch-22 of, I just feel like there's got to be the right timing, The next negative thing, I felt paralyzed. You just feel so you're just paralyzed, in this constant state of shock, and where is up right now? And you get up and you do what you need to do, but sometimes emotionally it just feels so where is up? How do I feel better? How do I feel like myself again? Because I like to feel good. I think we all like to feel good, right? And you question that, when does this get better? When does this get better? I felt void, empty, just as a person, both times, in both situations and scenarios, and just in random moments. I have moments of just feeling emptiness, complete emptiness, of soul, of spirit. Is very interesting. But sometimes I just sit down, take it all in, try to rationalize everything I'm thinking, bring my emotions into balance, and just say okay, self, calm down, because I mean, I know in situations like that, your emotions can get the better of you and you're just so frustrated that you don't even know. It's like depression and anxiety, but still trying to be strong and resilient and true to yourself, and recognizing on a logical level that you can't let something like this get the better of you. That was the difficult part, because it was like, come on, you can't let that get you down to that magnitude. Like, you are strong, you are resilient, you are able to overcome this, and you will. And those are the kind of things I used to have to just will myself and tell myself. Sit in the car on my lunch and cry for like 15 minutes and then tell myself a pep talk and go back into work and finish my shift. And I mean, I think some of the things that would help with that, my biggest aids, thank goodness, is supportive people around you. Make sure you have people who are available to help you through something like this, because the process of actually going through the miscarriage is so stressful. If you have a mother, a friend, like somebody that could, pick you up from your visit or be there with you while you go through it at home, if you are a person who is going through this, or if you're about to, just make sure you have a really strong support system around you, somebody that is going to be willing to help you. I definitely did. Both times I had, at the time I had strong partner and I had strong family, extended family. I had a lot of, not a lot with regards, it's the people who knew about the pregnancy, but they reached out when they knew, and they were so, loving and kind and, understanding that, hey, I know you're going through a lot, take it easy. Sorry, guys. My mom, she does not live near me. We live apart, very far apart on the opposite sides of the country, unfortunately. But my mom and me are very close. We check in. We've gotten much, much, much closer in the past years, which I'm so incredibly grateful for, just the deepening bond that we have had. But I know that it pained her that she couldn't be here throughout those processes, and because it pained me. Because in those moments, I didn't want nothing but my mama. I just wanted to lay on her and cry and just bawl up. I just was so, like, all of my emotional heart was, like, torn. And that was the only thing there was some days I just wanted my mom. I would call her and I'd just talk to her for an hour and a half and just cry or try to... Sorry, guys. I would just really try to imagine myself being closer to her, like telepathically, like feel her on me, just the way that, I would be near her when I was a kid. And like doing those things, oddly enough, were the things that would help bring me through. It brought me a lot of comfort to try to imagine that and to just think about that, and what the things that my mom would tell me when I would have a hard time when I was a kid. It was the things that I was telling myself now, like, you're okay, you're strong, you can will through this. It's okay. You can cry, let it out. It's okay. I would just cry. Sorry, this is like so testimonial and me just hopping on sharing right now, because I didn't know a way to break this into a script for you guys and be authentic, because this is real life for me. So what helped to combat all of the negative things that were going on in my head was, like, I did a lot of journaling. I still do a lot of journaling. I write down whatever I'm feeling. It doesn't matter how negative or ugly it is, I write it down, because I'm able to go back and, like, read what I wrote And it's like self-counsel to me. But it feels so freeing and so relaxing. And something I used to do when I was younger was I used to write things on like index cards, and then I would go outside and I would say a prayer and I would burn the index card. And so I would start doing little things like that to just give myself that releasing of, I'm not going to let these negative thoughts, take my mind over and, stop me from being the person that I know that I am, which is a strong, resilient young woman. You're wounded now, but you don't have to stay wounded. It was like I use these things to recover because, it's okay to get knocked down sometimes. It happens. It definitely happens. The next thing I would say do is cry as much as you need to. Don't feel bad. I would cry at work. I still cry at work. I cry in my car. I just cried 4 days ago. I still cry regularly about that situation, about those losses. Absolutely. That's a huge release for me. I don't have to hold that in. I don't have to hold that pain on my shoulders. I'm strong, but being strong doesn't mean like holding in all of your emotions. It is wonderful to release that and to just let it out. And for me, just crying, saying, I need to let this out. I need to release this pent up frustration or pain or, I need to let this go. And that's what I would do. I would let it go. And if it comes back, I have another session and I let it go. And it's getting easier. I don't cry as much, but I still cry. Another thing is walking, exercising. I absolutely love to exercise. Shameless plug, you can follow my fitness blog. It is at Vaughn's Grind. I absolutely love to work out. So much fun. Such a good release. Amazing to keep your body in shape and to just love on yourself like that and love yourself enough to, keep that blood pumping and do what you need to do. But that helped a lot because for me, I like to work out alone and it's very concentrated, so I can just plug my headphones in and do what I need to do for an hour, hour and a half. And it really gives me a lot of internal goodness, like yummy good feeling, to put that love into myself, to know that I'm doing something good for myself while releasing something physical. So sometimes it's just getting out that pent up physical off of you. Going to the gym regularly is so wonderful for that. And once you're recovered from, and you're able to, walk and stuff after if you go through a miscarriage or if you've never gone through one, just know there comes a point you're able to go again. And I say walking is great. Get on the treadmill. I did it all. I like to lift weights. I like to run. I like to do a couple of things, but working out was definitely a big, big help. If you need a partner, go with a partner. However it works for you, you just make sure you take care of yourself. Talking to family really helps me. I really have a lot of love for my family and trust in my family. And just being able to talk to them and open up to them about how much it would hurt or how much, negative thoughts I was feeling or just, different emotions I was going through. Having people to talk to, having very close friends to talk to about it was always really, really empowering. People who don't make you feel a way for having a negative emotion about it, just being very understanding and getting it. That was always it was like everything I needed in that moment. And still do sometimes. I still absolutely do sometimes. But like I said, a good support system is key. You need, if you don't have a support system, find one. I know I got introduced to a great group of women going to a full moon goddess circle through Jamie Madeline Edwards. I'll link all her information under my post, but she does a lot of work in the community in Sacramento involving women, and I went to a couple of her events, and they were just so empowering. And I was actually pregnant the first time I went, and I went to another one just before I found out I was pregnant again. And so she was just so wonderful. She gives you sisterhood, togetherness. It was a great support system of women. And so just finding alternate support systems and knowing that you don't just have to have one person that you rely on. You can have a couple of people that you're able to go to that are solid in your life, if you have that. I don't recommend just going to anybody, but you have to know who you can go to, who's going to give you real solid advice, who's going to be there to help you and tell you, hard truth, not going to be afraid to be honest with you and to tell you, hey, you got to come on, it's okay. Help you out. Also having people who just know how to just let you cry. You got to have that. Another thing was getting outside, just getting in the fresh air, getting into nature. I love looking at, different elements of nature and just remembering the beautifulness of that. Kind of getting in line with the outside always brings me a lot of peace. It makes being cooped up right now, especially in my home, a lot easier. I'm able to kind of step outside, and there's a lot of greenery right outside my house, and so it's really, really peaceful and calming, and it brings me so much serenity where I'm able to just take in the beauty, and it's like I can't even be mad when I'm looking at this. It's so beautiful sometimes. A next wonderful thing that I used to do is do hot baths. That right there, a hot bath, that's everything. That is one of the most, I get the water, hell hot, as some people like to say, us women like our water hell hot. And I would just relax in the bathtub with the bath bomb and bubble baths and my music playing and just try to breathe deep breaths and relax my mind, tell myself good thoughts, laugh at YouTube videos, whatever I really wanted to do, but just giving into myself, a lot of self-love, because your body goes through a lot in situations like that, and you don't want to ignore that your body goes through a lot, as well as your emotions, so you have to kind of take care of them on both levels. So the hot baths used to just feel so good on my muscles, on, all the parts of my body that were aching after all this happened. Because you are in a period of recovery for days after or weeks after, depending on what route you go through. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I have some of my things written. Something else that really, really helps me is actually acknowledging that pain, acknowledging that it's okay. It's okay that you're upset. It's okay that you really wanted that and it didn't happen. It's okay that you were disappointed. It's okay. It's like I used to feel bad for feeling, you know what I mean? Why me? But I try to take that in. It's okay that you feel that way. Just breathe. It's okay. I think that sometimes that's natural, and it's not to be so hard on yourself, because you just lost, you went through a tough loss, and you want to know that, what happened, why, you have all these questions. So I think it's natural for us to be so hard, but understand that you can acknowledge that and take a deep breath and just be okay, I do want to know those things. I am upset that this didn't happen for me. But you just come to grips that it didn't. It's making the peace with it, you know what I mean? Really acknowledging the pain and making peace with this didn't happen the way that I wanted it to happen. And it sucks, but I'm okay. Let's see. Next thing, I got into crystals with the group of women that I met. Kind of introduced me to some crystals a little bit here and there, and then I went to a family function, and my family member actually said, I've been holding on to these, and I've not been sure who I needed to give them to, and now I feel like I know who they're for you. And so she sent me a couple of pieces, and there's this one specific necklace, and it's a rose quartz necklace, and that necklace is so it's like such a deep reminder to me of, having that unconditional love in my heart and doing things from that place. And so wearing that, I got that around New Year's, I would say. Wearing that necklace throughout that process really helped, because it gave me just my own little quick reminder of like doing things from a very like positive driven place. Don't do things from like negative based place. Low vibrational energy, that's what I would call it. Low vibrational energy spaces. Don't do things in out of spite, anger. Try to do things out of positivity and happiness and what's right for you as a person. So, i.e. me as a person. That really helped me. Those crystals really helped me. I have several others. I really recommend the Crystal Bible. I have that book. My cousin, she really, man, she loved on me. She sent me a set of crystals. She also sent me a necklace, and she sent me the Crystal Bible. So I was really able to like dig deep and research and learn so much about them. I really recommend the book. And I also recommend, when all this social distancing is over, go to a crystal shop and pick out a crystal. There's several that are great for healing different elements of the body. But check out the Crystal Bible, or check out some information online. See if that's something that you might subscribe to that might help you. I love my crystals. Wouldn't trade them. Another thing that I do is meditate and pray. I meditate daily. I try to take time, at least 30 to 45 minutes, and just sit in peacefulness and meditate and talk to God, my spiritual guides, get in touch with myself on a very deep spiritual basis, and just talk about the things that I'm going through. I sometimes sit outside on my little porch and do it. Sometimes I come and sit in my car and do it. Sometimes there's a little park right next to my house. Sometimes I sit right there and do it. But definitely just get the solitude that you may need to have those deep conversations, however you connect spiritually. Reaching out and just asking for that guidance and peace of mind, for me, really helps. And I love doing it in nature. Something about that serenity, like I said, is so beautiful that it's like I'm just able to become one and relax and just get, everything in order. It's like I can get all my mind in order. I can get my spirituality in order, and I can become aligned again. And I can feel so together again. It's just having those conversations with God, sitting there in nature and talking to Him, and feeling close to Him and asking Him for help. I am feeling so bogged down and weighed down, and I don't know how I'm going to keep pressing through. Like, I need help. So I feel like through His guidance, through my guide's guidance, I've gotten a lot of I feel like I've gotten a lot of support. I've gained so many unique ways of dealing with this, that it has allowed me to like free my spirit on it in a different level. It's allowed me to change my perspective on how things happen with my miscarriage and why they happened the way they did. But it just allowed me to come into alignment with God and myself and not be so mad anymore. To be calm, to be at peace. This has been something that I've been trying to heal from all year. I've just been wanting to heal and be okay. And it really hasn't been easy, you know. So sorry that you guys catch me in and out of my emotions right now. Another thing that I highly recommend is vaginal steams. I know there's ways that you can YouTube some at-home vaginal steams, since we can't really go to places and get that done right now. But those are always great just for women to give attention to that area because it's so traumatizing. Your body goes through a lot of trauma there. So giving yourself self-love, you know. I did a lot of facial masks. I do my nails. I do my skincare. Just really taking care of me. That has helped a ton. Loving on myself. Very, very much so. Make sure that you guys take time off of work if you work. Make sure that you don't overdo it. That you know yourself and you know your boundaries and where you lay. I remember the very first time this happened to me, I initially thought I'd be fine to go back to work 2 days later, and I needed time. It was very hard. I was still a little dizzy at work here and there, and I would definitely was like, I need to leave early. I'm sorry. I'm still not okay. It was tough. Very tough. And it's I wasn't really sure what was going on because I just tried to take it a day at a time and navigate with my body, what's going on. So fortunately, like I said, I had a very supportive energy with regards to employment, so that helped. But make sure that you take care of yourself first. I'm a firm believer in that. Work can wait. I know we say that so loosely, especially right now with the way social distancing and stuff is. But this has been, I still have to go to work right now. I am an essential. I am an essential out here. But we still have to go to work. I get it. There's a lot of things life still has to go on. But just make sure that you take time for you. If you have to cut back a little bit, do that. Whatever you need to do to make sure that you're mentally and emotionally and physically okay, do that. Make sure that you do that for you. The last thing that I would say really, really, really helped me was to get back to things that I liked to do when I was a kid. I really, really, really love music. Not to say that I didn't listen to that now as an adult, but I definitely got deeper into my music in the last couple of months. Started joining in on these Instagram live battles. That's been a lot of fun. But just remembering all those good times and being able to have fun and relive that energy again has been so, invigorating and freeing, and it feels so good. I'm at home chilling, and they've got Little John and T-Pain, and they're just running the hits from high school, and that was so amazing. It was just something that made me feel alive again. It made me feel happy again. It made me feel just that energy, you know what I mean? It just brings that back in you. Dancing. I've been posting dance videos because it's just, I love to dance. It's so freeing. It's so relaxing. It's so, beautiful, and all the emotions behind it. I love it so much, and I definitely recommend you just do some stuff that you like to do. I just bought some daisies and some sunflowers, and I was like, I just want to plant some flowers. I used to do that when I was a kid with my mom, and I was like, I just want to plant some flowers this time. I don't know why, but it does make me feel happy, and it makes me feel really good. It makes me feel really, really good inside. like just a big ball of happiness. Movies, watching movies. My favorite cartoon movie is Aladdin. So, getting back to stuff I love to do for me, that bring me happiness. And not to say that I liked being a kid, but when you're in a deep state of depression, sometimes you got to think about, like, what did what brought me happiness where was that? And I just thought back to when I was a kid, like, what did I like to do? I'm going to go do some of that stuff, because that stuff was real fun, and it's helped. It's helped a lot. I'm enjoying myself firmly. Getting back to that silliness and just being able to be alive again has been wonderful. Diving into projects, starting this podcast, obviously has been amazing. This has been an amazing outlet to just talk about it. I didn't imagine that I was going to talk about it. I actually was talking to my best friend, and she said, was that something you were going to talk about? And I was like, eventually. And then it just weighed on me and weighed on me and weighed on me for a few days. And here I am talking about it, but it feels so good. I wish you guys knew I'm just sitting here. It's beautiful outside. And I'm thinking, how happy I am to be able to tell you guys about this. To tell you guys that, I have gone through 2 miscarriages in the last 9 months. And I'm here today, 30-year-old female. And I'm okay. I'm healing, and I'm wounded, and I'm hurting, but I am okay. I'm okay. And I'm super happy. I've been doing my makeup. That has been really, really fun. I absolutely love doing my makeup. A blast. Been trying to get, just into loving on me. I just want to thank both my parents for providing me a background of a strong mental will. Something about the push forward always. Not wanting to be held back in my negativity or things that bring me down. Learning from the experience, moving forward, picking myself up, just having that will to know I will be okay. So, Mother and Father, thank you. I always appreciate you guys. I know that you're going to listen to this episode, and it might make you guys a little emotional because But thank you. I want to say also thank you to all of my extended family who has reached out to me. And I don't want to put everybody's name out there because I don't know how comfortable people are. But you guys know who you are. Being in Sacramento, there's some people who have been a part of my life for the entire time I've lived here and who have shown up for me. Another mother-like figure who I appreciate beyond measure and respect as well. There for me, to love me and to comfort me throughout this process. And so I just really want to come on and tell you guys a little about this. I'm sorry if I didn't get into any super juicy details about how that all happened. I don't know that you guys wanted to hear that, but I just wanted to talk about, how I'm doing and how I'm healing, and hopefully some of the things I'm doing can resonate with another young woman, or if you know a person going through this, tip them off to come listen or shoot me a message. I'd be happy to go into detail about any of the things that I do. Like I said, my social media is at Vonkiah, VONKIAH. The social media for this podcast is at Eyes Wide Open Pod. That's on Instagram. If you guys know somebody who's gone through this, or if you yourself have gone through this and you know something to do, or if you have tips, if you have your own resources, if you're a resource, send me a message or drop your information underneath this post. There will be a little post on the Instagram, so I'd love to hear about it, because this is a tough topic and it's really difficult for a lot of people, a lot of men, a lot of women don't know how to heal from situations like this, they fall into depression, and it's real easy. It's real easy because it hurts. But I'm resilient. I'm not depressed. I'm so grateful to be where I'm at right now. I'm happy. I'm healing, and I feel really good. I feel really good. And every day's a process, and so, I'm taking you guys with me. I'll be coming to you guys with more updates as I find more things to do. I would love to continue sharing in all the my miscarriage healingness as time goes on. Hopefully it just gets easier. If you want to talk to me about your story, reach out to me, please. I would love to talk to you about your story. But I'm going to hop off of here, you guys. Next Wednesday will be another podcast, episode number 3. I hope you guys have enjoyed episode number 2. It was really hard for me to talk about it. Maybe I'll get a little more vulnerable with it one day, but thank you guys for allowing me the space to talk about it, and thank you for listening today. I really appreciate you, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.